What's up, guys? My name is Forrest. I have the world record in Bloodborne's any percent speedrun for the unpatched version of the game. It's 18 minutes and 52 seconds. I wanted to put a version of the run on my YouTube and also give some commentary of the run, some of the unique parts of it. It skips and go through it there. So we're just going to go through it in real time here. The run starts off just like any other category where you use the military veteran as your starting class. This is just for its base strength and skill. We have an option here right at the beginning of the run. The first thing that we need to do in this category is get 3 bloodstone shards, or one of each of the 3 different types of shard.
That probably helps you support the controller, I guess.
So to get the first bloodstone shard, we can either kill the wolf, which it has like a 7% drop rate. So you can grind like 1 out of every 20 runs to hopefully get the drop from the wolf, or you can just go pick it up. If you get it from the wolf, it's like a 20-second time save, but nobody's ever finished a personal best with that. Generally, we all go pick it up. So the first thing we gotta go do is get our items, just like any other category. The biggest thing about Unpatched is it has a nutty amount of load screens compared to any other category.
It just floats in between your wrists.
Just because Unpatched is so slow. You'll see we get into this load screen at 140 and we come out of it at almost 30 seconds later. So picking up that pebble is part of the newest addition to this category. It's a duping glitch that we do that I discovered at the January of 2021, I think. And it saves a huge amount of time compared to the old dupe. We still use the old dupe, but now we only have to do it for shards, which you'll see later in the run here. So now we have our first bloodstone shard. Now we need a twin shard and a bloodstone chunk on our way to Bergenworth. The main thing about this category that's different than any other category is the dupe that's going to allow us to multiply our items. This is the first skip of the run. It's fence skip. We jump and we quit out here, a lot like sewer skip, where we're quitting out just to land on the fence.
Controller. I'm sure phone as the controller is the next attempt.
This is how we'll get around Eye Esophagus Clinic. So, what I was saying about the dupe, we'll do a dupe right now. We're going to pick up some cold dew so we can start duping our echoes. That way, the main thing about this category is we're going to do pretty much all of the bosses with a +9 weapon and at max level, or all the levels that we're going to get for the run. Besides the trip to the dream that we did in order to pick up our weapons, we're only going to go there one more time. So right here, we're going to do the main dupe of this run here. Basically, we're cycling through the cold dews. We're using 99 of them, or we're using 98 of them, and then we're discarding 99.
You do it too quickly,
So
you're still popping the last one, and it doesn't let you use multiple, and then you're just in.
We're going to -1 cold dew, and then it's just putting us back up to 99, basically. It only works in 1.0. It was patched very quickly.
How good does your psychokinesis need to be in order to use the controller with your mind? That sounds like a lot. I understand just like lifting a single object, that's probably pretty simple, but
I was tripping this day, talking about psychokinesis.
doing everything a hand does with your mind seems like a lot of fucking work. It'd be easier just to use your hands, I'd imagine.
We're on our way to Shadows. On our way, we're going to pick up our Twinstone Shard and also the Chunk. So that move right there is just like the Cold Dews. I'm actually duping the Pebble because we want to have 99 Pebbles.
I thought that that was the best example.
Or 20 Pebbles in this case, I guess.
Psychic powers, because she just did a bunch of pranks. Pranks is the best way to use your telekinetic abilities. What's up, Peanut? Thanks so much for the good luck.
So that's our Bloodstone Chunk. We're just picking up one of each so that we can dupe them to 99, and then we'll just get a +9 with that.
Bringing a book to you with your mind without getting out. That was a pretty... I think that's the end of the movie. She gets adopted.
From here, we're on our way to Shadows. 1.0 also features a very unique AI freeze. The current patch version is a lot stupider. This you can get soft locked really easily, but once you get used to it, you do it pretty naturally.
The cook made with her own sweat and blood.
And then we quit out after activating Shadows. Once you activate Shadows once, the only way you can activate their AI subsequently is by going through the fog gate. So since we're entering from the outside of the arena, they stay frozen. This run is spectacular. I don't think we'd get a very good Shadows here. But I think Shadows is basically where all of the time save is for this run. Well, this looks good. Where do I fuck this up?
I'm just thinking of that homeless guy from The Day After Tomorrow that teaches the...
I don't like that. Yeah, that's a little...
...papers near their clothes for insulation.
So this part could be improved on. The thing is that there's so few things to do in this run. You want it to be as perfect as possible. There's not really a lot of room for error.
Hey, excuse me.
So I think this is the biggest hiccup in the run.
Oh, that's not a lot of stamina. This is an awkward quit out. I guess we'll take it. We'll just do a fast one.
So now we're going to quit out here. And in order to do the main duplication glitch of 1.0, we'll actually go into new game. We'll create a new profile. And the idea of this profile, in order to perform the glitch, you need to have a second profile that just has some pebbles in storage. Because we're going to use pebbles to perform the dupe, because they're the cheapest item. So we have our profile here. Our goal is just to get to the dream as soon as possible so that we can sell some of our garb, buy our pebbles, and get one in storage. This is a big part of the run too, because it's the wolf killing you is just RNG, so you can lose 4 or 5 seconds based on kind of what happens with the wolf. So we'll sell our garb quick, we'll buy our pebbles, make sure we buy as many as we can, and then some of them we go to storage. So now we have pebbles in storage, so we'll be able to perform the glitch on our main profile. 49 seconds is as good as it gets. It's unbelievable that I also got 49 seconds in this run, because generally it's 50 or 51, sometimes even 52 if you get a good wolf.
Nice. Another 49 second. Alright, let's gold. Let's get a gold.
So those 2 in-game times get added at the end in order to give the total time. So now that we have all of our echoes from the other glitch and we have the duplication glitch set up, the next step is just to duplicate our chunks. So basically the way the glitch works is we have some pebbles in storage on the other profile. I'll put an item in storage that I want to duplicate on this profile, and then if I put any pebbles in storage after that, the game will identify those pebbles as whatever item I primed up originally. So that way I can get as many of an item that I need.
I think that's too many mistakes.
Once we get a +9 weapon, we just put in our levels here. This number of skill, 32, is really important so that we can set up our Mikalash split. This run is unbelievable though, because we get a gold split on the duplication, on the dupe right there. I think we get 4. I think we get 4 golds in a row or something silly. Or I split late on ROM, that would have been a gold. That's what I remember. I just call the ROM split reset in this category. This is where most of the resets come from, because it's the most YOLO version of ROM that you can imagine. You just go for it and hope the spiders don't hit you. You know, you get a lot of good... There's something to the movements that you make and kind of where you dodge and where you walk around, but it's just thousands of runs later.
Split. That should have been a gold. I just
Would have been a gold split. I just miss split there. So, Rom's dead. We have Yargul, Mikalash, Wet Nurse, and then that's game. We're not going to go to the Dream at all in between those things. It's just all action category after the long setup. Just like every other category, we'll do Yargul skip here. And we just grab the bolt paper. We're done leveling up our weapon. I didn't even mention Lunarium Key skip for ROM. We do use a special skip for Lunarium Key. For getting into ROM's arena. This doesn't work in current patch anymore, or this version of it doesn't. There's a certain way to fall into this hole in current patch, but it's a pixel perfect. Only a few people have ever performed it after hours of attempts. But that's the Lunarium Key skip for ROM. Here is where we'll grab our garb. That some versions of Unpatched, you'll see people buy the garb in the Dream, but it's actually faster just to grab some vials while you're doing the dupe and go ahead and just pick up Yargul's set here. Doesn't save any hits on ROM, rather to have the Hunter's Garb than the Foreign Garb. We don't pick up any gems in this run because we don't go to Gascoigne and we don't have our gem tool. Reborn is also super YOLO, where you just go head on. But we have a +9 and we're pretty strong, so it's very doable. Oh, I have this up here, excuse me. Head breaks, arm break, and then you just go for it. You actually want a couple fireballs to hit you in a way, because if they hit you, they can interrupt your swing where you did damage, but you're still doing the animation, and also you get some stamina back when you get hit. So, well-timed fireballs have the potential to help a lot. And you see there, we get another gold. This run is unreal. Just on our way to Mikalash. One thing about this area, the Silver Wolf, there's a Silver Wolf that you have to dodge in at this point in the run, which is so stressful, obviously, when you're 16 seconds ahead of already world record pace. This was I can't. I was still rewatching it now. I haven't thought about it in a while. This is just a.
We can do our
It's
best.
so crazy. Even here, I'm just telling chat. I'm like, hey, there's some things we can do. We can just lose 10 seconds and make sure that this is a solid run. But in most categories, you're going to stop at the lamp there. And coming from the lamp is a lot comfier for the Silver Wolf because you just catch him on the other side of the bridge. If you're just running from the right when you enter like that, you have to dodge him, and you can do like 4 or 5 attacks. Fortunately, it doesn't seem to follow you too much. Let's see if we get a good spider line in here. The goal is to get past the big spider before he drops down. Alright, well there's a second. There's some time save here. I think I'm sure if somebody really wanted to grind it out, we could see. I mean, if somebody wanted to go for the wolf for the Bloodstone Shard, you could also grab the first Bloodstone Shard from an enemy in the woods, which has the potential to save 20 or 25 seconds if you get it first try right away, but then you have to grind for 8 minutes in order to even attempt to get the drop. And again, it's a 7 or 8% drop. It's not very viable. But that's available. You could see this category sub 1830 if you had another unbelievable run like this, plus a few other things. But that's a little crazy. Sub 19 was really just like a long dream. That finally we got there. So the next boss is Mikalash, of course. In Unpatched, again, we have a special way of doing this category. Or doing this segment. So the goal is to get our beast meter up high enough so that we can perform the strat. We also want to get Mikalash as low as possible without him being sent to second phase, so we want to get him to like right 51% health. So we have to focus on those two things, getting the meter up perfect and making sure that we get him to perfect health in order to perform this strat. Then I bait out the tentacle with the bolt paper. Get our triple backstab. We have 16 stamina, so we can do a triple backstab. And then we do our visceral for the kill. Pretty solid. I think this is another gold split too. It's a little nutty. So again, that you can't do that in current patch. As soon as you get him to 50% health in any other patch, he just immediately goes away. But you can do it in this category. And then all that's left is Wet Nurse. So we don't have any blue elixirs here, so in order to get by the pigs, you can just YOLO it, or I choose to do a quit out here. This run's so great because you don't have any pickups. You get all, I mean, after the dupe, you just done with the dupe. Hey, let's get done as fast as possible. That's what it is. So I do a jump and then I quit out to get as far as possible there. Let's check the in-game time. That's wild. 15:34 at that quit out is so ridiculous. I remember a time when like 17:30 was unachievable to me personally. You're able to, we'll show that again there. So this quit out's pretty particular. It took me a lot to find a good spot for it because of these guys, but this is the best because if they run up, I mean, you can just run past the far guy and you know, that's the worst fireball attack I could have gotten and it's safe. So that's pretty solid. I think you probably, like if you did that without the quit out, it's probably a couple seconds faster potentially. Fine opener. We get 3 attacks. Should be able to get 4 here. Oh, I do. That's smart. I don't know. Oh, this is rough. How much time does Wet Nurse lose me here? Alright, at least she moved. That could have been rough. What a frustrating Wet Nurse. I probably wasn't even. I was just like, let's get this run over here. We get a teleport? Cross map teleport. Wow. Looking for the stagger, got it on the second hit. All in all, it's a good fight. It's just rough RNG. Oh, that's lucky. Alright. Well, that's a lucky way to finish.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Oh, yeah, I was pretty hyped about this. Even this though, do we save time on Wet Nurse? I must have been running against a rough Wet Nurse split. Oh no, here we go. Here's the time loss. We still save time on this Wet Nurse? Yeah, we must have been running against some rough Wet Nurse RNG. We got a cross map teleport and still. My PB before this I think was 1929. Or it was a 1920 something. I don't think I ever hit the 19 teens. This was a huge jump. This is a crazy jump. And then we just submit to Gehrman, and it's GG. In any percent categories after you submit to Gehrman, you can quit out in the application menu. Opposed to like all bosses where you have to quit out after the last kill.
Oh, that is so fast.
It is so fast.
Multiple seconds below sub 9. Should have been a gold too, but I misclicked B, so we should have had fucking 5 golds in 1 run.
No, I knew this was. I must have had a 1920 or something.
52.
52. All right. Well. Anyway. Well, that's that. Thanks for watching, anybody. I just wanted to get this up here. All right. How do I end this? Okay, there we are. Bye bye.